Hey everyone! If you watched my level 40 Swordmaster build guide, you might remember I mentioned a calculator I built from scratch to figure out the damage, crit rate, and final damage I needed to optimize my build. Well, today's the day. I'm finally showing you how it works and how you can use it to fine-tune your own build to hit that 80 to 90% crit cap, squeeze in more damage, and make your gear work smarter, not harder. Let's dive into the critical, FD, and damage calculator. Now, let's break down how to use the tool step by step. Step 1. Make your own copy. At the top left, click File. Make a copy. This is super important. Do not request edit access to the original sheet. Making a copy lets you edit your own version safely. Step 2. Check the stats overview. Right up top, you'll see your current stats: physical attack, magic attack, crit rate, and crit percent. Raw crit or agility needed to hit cap, final damage value, and FD percent. There's even a mini FD test box where you can punch in any FD value and instantly see its percentage. FD cap at level 40 is 2,450, but the game hard caps it at 51%, just so you know. Reminder: only edit blue cells. Those are the safe zones designed for user inputs. Everything else updates automatically. Step 3. Select your class. Pick your class from the drop-down to apply proper base stats and scaling. Step 4. Buffs toggle. Check or uncheck the buffs you want included in the calculation. If your class has that buff, or you usually party with classes that provide it, just check the box. The calculator will handle the rest. Step 5. Choose your armor set. You'll find suffix options and enhancement levels. Select your gear's suffix, then pick a refine level from +0 to +15. Everything updates instantly. Step 6. Potentials. On the right side of your gear table, manually enter the potential stats you currently have, or what you're targeting. These affect your stat totals. Step 7. Now let's move on to accessories. If you're using or planning to get an accessory set, select the corresponding set from the drop-down and choose whether you're going for the 2, 3, or 4-piece bonus. You can even mix 2 sets to get 2 2-piece effects if that's your plan. Then, manually input the base stats of each accessory, and on the right-hand side, enter their potential values to complete the setup. Step 8. Plates and third stats. Input up to 8 heraldry plates, or 11 if you're using the expansion slot. You can also add the third stat values of plates, like crit, FD, or agility, just by entering them into the table. Need a quick reference? You'll find base third stat values listed to the right. Step 9. Titles and costumes. Last step. Plug in the values from your title and costume pieces. Skip pets. They don't give real stats despite what their window says. Once you're done, check your final values at the top of the sheet. If you're not hitting crit cap, try adjusting your armor suffixes, adding agility or crit potentials, rebalancing your plates, or swapping out accessories. It's all about finding the right combination to meet your goals. And now, you've got the tool to help you do it. All right, now that we've walked through how the calculator works, it's time to put it to the test. We'll be showcasing one of the most requested builds, a Magic Swordmaster using intellect armors and pushing for that sweet 80 to 90% crit. But before we dive in, let's set our goal. Are we going all out with whale tier gear, or are we trying to min-max on a budget? Well, I'm not a whale, so this is going to be a budget-built beast. Let's get started. Before anything else, make sure to create your own copy of the calculator. I don't have to since I own this calculator. Then, let's create a duplicate of the calculator for a fresh and clean start. Next, I'll select Swordmaster as our class. Then I'll check the Archer buff. Why Archer and not Mercenary? While Merc buff gives a stronger impact, we're playing it safe. Whether we party with a Merc or Archer, we'll hit crit cap. Step 2. Gear and Suffix setup. We're going with the trusty Full Apocalypse set. As mentioned earlier, we're featuring a magic Swordmaster with intellect armors. Main weapon, Wind for crit resist reduction. Sub-weapon, Tent for that sweet magic defense shred. Step 3. Potentials. Let's hold off on weapon and ring potentials for now. We'll adjust those later, depending on what we're missing. For the rest of the gear, we want Intellect, Agility, Max HP. That's for armors, necklace, and earrings. Step 4. Accessories. Since we're on a budget, we're not going for set effects. We'll use Fatal Sylvie rings. Let's pull their stats from the marketplace. For necklace and earrings, we're using Wind Sylvie variants to help close the crit gap. Let's pull their stats again from the marketplace. Again, potentials here should be Intellect, Agility, and Max HP, same as armor. For rings, since they roll like weapons, we want Magic Attack, Agility, and Crit %, but we'll lock that in after we see what we still need. Step 5. Plates. For heraldry plates, you can equip up to 8 by default or 11 if you have the heraldry expansion. Since we're on a budget build, we'll stick with 8 plates for now. Our core priorities are Wind, Fatal, Intellect, and Magic. For the remaining 4 slots, we'll add Health, Life Vitality, Ultimate, and Destruction. If you don't have these yet, check the market for stats. And of course, prioritize level 40 epic plates whenever possible. Step 6. Titles and costumes. Enter your title and costume stats, whatever you're using currently. Pets don't give you any real stats at this level, so we skip them. Step 7. Fine-tuning for crit cap. Now we go back and clean up. Check how much raw crit or agility you're missing to hit 90% crit. We skipped the weapon and ring potentials earlier. This is where we adjust. Check the market again for swords or rings with crit potential and compare prices. Just make sure they have the right suffixes, because you can't reset them. There are plenty of budget-friendly swords on the market with crit percent potentials, so we're grabbing one and plugging it into the calculator. For the gauntlet and rings, our goal is to roll magic attack, agility, and intellect. These will help round out our damage and crit needs efficiently. Since we're still a bit short on critical, let's look into third stat plates that offer crit. Sticking with our budget approach, we'll check the market for level 24 epic plates, starting with the non-priority ones. We managed to find 2 crit plates, which is just enough to push us to the cap. Now, take one final look at the stats up top. And just like that, we've crafted a solid, budget-friendly build that hits our crit goal. Remember, there are many ways to optimize your gear. This is just one example. So, experiment, get creative, and use this calculator to build your version of a monster. And that wraps it up. This tool was built to give you clarity, confidence, and a way to experiment without wasting gold or time. Whether you're planning your next upgrade or theory crafting your dream build, this calculator gives you the edge. If this helped, drop a like, subscribe, and let me know what kind of builds you'd like me to feature next. And hey, don't forget, this is just one way to use the calculator. Get in there, play around, and find what works best for your playstyle. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.